Now time for our next race. It is Senior Road Tax, heat number 4. It's groups B versus C. Here's your starting grid. So on pole position for this one, it's going to be Lewis Gilbert. Sean Butcher will be alongside him on the front road. Vic Stevens and Lachlan Robinson on row 2. Paul Folkwemin and Matisse Turlo on row 3. Ethan Jeff Hall and Lauren Ligor on row 4. Tommy van der Sloys and Sverre Ubben, row 5, completing the top 10. Joris Schoens, Jod van Wijk, Maxence Bouvier, Scott Westhovens, Fahin Mega, Luke Neeson, Axel Goes, Lotus Sveen, Debian Horst, Danny Prince and Anton Morsing. Well, Danny Prince completes the top 20. Completing the 32-strong grid, it's Anton Morsing, Frederik Zevis Christensen, Kaz Boshaus, Mads Larsen, Bramo Savada, Kamal Murad, Sim van Vliet, Rune de Bruyker, Rafael Jesus. Then we got Alexander Vermeulen, Spencer Braun, and Jonas Lelu. So, could we have a new, different winner here today? Kai Hillets won the previous heat. We've also had Sean Butcher and Mark Kimber. So, 3 different drivers from 3 different heats. Heat 4, groups B versus C. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out first time. Here we go into turn 1. Gilbert leads the way. Lachlan Robinson round the outside of Vic Stevens heading into turn 2. Will the 326 get through? No, he doesn't, because it looks like he's lost a position. He's lost another couple. So Paul Folkwemin looks to have gotten through as well on the 326. That was high, wide and handsome round the outside of Vic Stevens. Through into turn 5. Now into the far part of the circuit. As, oh, dearie me, Lachlan Robinson is being assaulted from all sides at the moment. The 326 now representing the United Kingdom as of this year. Previously represented the UAE at the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, I think 5 or 6 times, if memory serves me correctly. Now he's side by side with his teammate at KR Sport Canada's Lauren Ligor. Gilbert leads the way after the opening lap, but it's a 4-way scrap. Butcher is there. Stevens is there. Folkwemin has got the ringside seats. 1 from Krav Motorsport leading the way. 1 from KR Sport. And the 2 teammates from Dams Racing. Folkwemin looked to the inside of his teammate. And that has allowed Ethan Jeff Hall from Strawberry Racing to close on in. Tommy van der Sloys now ahead of Matisse Turlo as the train makes its way through turn 5 again. And there's the opening that Folkwemin needed. And the Frenchman got through on Vic Stevens for P3. Butcher now looks to be pulling away as they come across the line to complete lap 2. Gilbert now in second. And the trigger has been pulled by Ethan Jeff Hall as he launched it up the inside of Vic Stevens through turn 1. through the exit of turn 2. Now into the left-hander here at 3, and for Quimmin up the inside of Gilbert. Through 3 for second. And now it's really getting a bit tetchy. Matisse Turlo putting the pressure on Tommy van der Stroys through turn 5. Now into 6. Now 7 and 8. There's a bit of a sideways moment there for Stevens. And he loses another position. Ethan Jeffel gets another spot. The 397 from Lancaster, last year's Junior European Road Tax champion. Butcher, after just under 3 minutes, has a 1 second lead as van der Stroys. Oh, nearly got through on Stevens. And Maxence Bouvier gets the crisscross done on Matisse Turlo, who now accidentally opens the door, runs wide. Robinson gets through, and here comes Farin Mega. Does he get through? Yes, he does at turn 4 on the 9.05, who drops through from 7th to 10th in 4 corners. Now Bouvier going up the inside, bumps over the curbs. Van der Stroys gets compromised. Robinson does the pair of them in the same stretch of tarmac. Farin Mega trying to get through on Tommy van der Stroys, but the crisscross from Matisse Turlo works to absolute perfection. Now, Farin Mega launches it. That's Farin Mega of old. He has been not competing that much in the first part of this season due to his his arm surgery, left arm. So it's still not at 100% fitness, but he's getting back in the car. He's starting to enjoy his racing once again. Coming up to just 2.5 minutes remaining. There is the 355 just coming through into shot. That's Axel Goes running the TB Kart Netherlands crew along with Mitch Haynert. Butcher now has the lead, and there's Ethan Jeff Hall slingshots through on Lewis Gilbert through turn 1. You can see that when you know someone's right on your back bumper coming down the start-finish straight through that full throttle chicane, you know that there's not much point giving up too much resistance unless it's the final race of the weekend. At this point, it's about getting into the top 30 and not having to go through the rigmarole tomorrow morning of a second chance heat where you would be potentially one of 6 drivers that would make it through to the final stages. But if not, you'll have to end up battling for the top 3 on the podium for the B final. Minute and a half on the clock still to go. Paul Quimmin now is second. Lachlan Robinson in the meantime, but in the previous fastest lap of the race, 55.654. He's closing in on Vic Stevens, and he was about the best part. Well, he was over 4 tenths quicker. So Vic Stevens now knows that P5's under threat by the driver behind him. Meanwhile, Ethan Jeff Hall has got past, that's Paul Quimmin who's gotten past. So Ethan Jeff Hall up to second. Sean Butcher has nearly a 1.1 second advantage, because now we are going to go on to the penultimate lap of this race. So Butcher's lead is 1.3 seconds. Gilbert now gets through on Quimmin for third. And does the old tap on the right-hand side of the race helmet? That's the sort of like what we like to call the, come on, think. Come on, just think about what you're doing. But what he's got to do is battle away with Paul Quimmin for that third spot. Timer has expired. We're going to have one more lap after this. So Butcher will now be crossing the line, and onto the final lap goes last year's runner-up, and 2 years before that, he was the champion. Gap just over 9/10 ahead of Ethan Jeff Hall. Maxence Bouvier down in 7th behind Lachlan Robinson. Puts in the fastest lap of the race at 55.505, but look at the skirmish a bit further back. Trying to catch out one of the numbers, might be behind. Well, I'm seeing a CRG chassis. That is going to be a Spencer Brown. You've probably got the likes of Casbos House, Rafael Jesus. Bramos Savard is actually behind the number 356 from the UK. But there we see the initial first few drivers. An adjustment on the radiator flap on the right-hand side for Sean Butcher as he will come out of the chicane and cross the line. It's another victory for the Australian the Australian based out of London. I hope his dad Glenn is watching. I know you are watching, Glenn, because I can feel my ears burning. He takes the win by nearly 3/4 of a second ahead of Ethan Jeff Hall. Lewis Gilbert third ahead of Paul Fourquemin. Vic Stevens, Lachlan Robinson, Maxence Bouvier, Farin Mega, Luke Neeson, and Tommy van der Stroys rounding out the top 10. Mathis Turlo, Lauren Legault, Axel Goes, Devian Horst, Sverre Ubben, Joris Schoens, Jort van Wijk, Anton Molsing, Mads Larsen, Danny Prins, Frederik Zebis Christensen, Casbos House, Rafael Jesus, Spencer Brom, René de Broeke, Kamal Manad, Alexander Vermeulen, Bramo Savada, Sim van Vliet, Jonas Lelou, Scott Westhovens, and I think we are still waiting for Lotus Tween to come across the line. So that's the 4th of 6 heats completed. And we just have 2 to go. And very shortly, we'll be getting underway with our first of 2 finals with Minimax and Minimax Rookie up very shortly.